Guys, welcome to my channel. So if you are on this video, 9 times out of 10 you're thinking about moving to Houston, or you've already made the move to Houston, which I'm not surprised. It's literally over 200 people moving here daily. Statistically, it probably even went up higher. Okay, so for those that do not know, I moved to Houston. When did I move to Houston? I moved to Houston July 2021. Okay, right after I graduated college, I was going to the University of Alabama. I already been down there. I already toured the school I wanted to go to for my master's program. My family's already out here. Let me just make the big move. So it was July 2021, like the end of July. I had found my apartment. I found it online. I never seen it in person, but thank God that it was a good apartment. But so I signed my lease, everything virtually, and then once I moved here, apartment was ready to go. That was gonna be my first time seeing it. But it's now 2024, and I've been here for a while. So I wanted to go over a few things that you should do before moving to Houston if you are thinking about it. And I'm also gonna iterate the pros and cons of Houston, how I feel about my move here, if I regret it, if I love it, whatever the case may be, which I do love it, I'm not gonna lie. It has its pros and cons, of course, but overall, I love it. Okay, so the first thing, this is coming from my mistakes also. If I can go back in time, I would. I did have 6 months of rent saved up. Honestly, if you could do more, do more. The more the merrier, obviously, because money comes and goes. I will say at one point in time, it was easy to find work here in Houston, but I feel like now, because of so many people moving here, it has made it a little bit difficult. Not as easy as it once was. There's endless job opportunities, but it's so saturated here. So, it's a lot of competition. I'm just going to say that. It's a lot of competition. So try to find a job before you get here, and please don't try to come up here with aspirations of being a bottle girl or being like a party promoter. You can, but I hate to say it, but those fields are already filled. Those fields are already filled. So come up here with a game plan, research what industry you want to go into, whether that's real estate, whether that's hair business, lash business. Research not only your competition, but also research where there can be availability at. You need to see which side of town you're going to be on, which side of town you want to live on, because if you don't know, Houston is literally like its own state, okay? You could be literally, Houston is an hour away from Houston, and if you know, Houston is humongous. That's the best way that I know how to put it. It's literally humongous. It's huge. So research your areas, research what side you want to stay on. And if you want information on that, just reach out to me, because I'm not going to say I know all of Houston because it's so big, but I damn near know almost every side in general, from the north side to the south side to the east side to the west side. And then you have your suburbs, which suburbs, that is the whole nother type of ball game in a way, because it's you could be in the suburbs and still be in Houston. You could still be on the line, if that makes sense. But yeah, just research where you want to live in, what are your favorite things to do, because this might be on this side of town, this might be on this side of town, especially even if you have friends or family here. Me personally, I don't want to stay too close you know, but find your, you know, find your area basically. And so once you do that, once you find your area, obviously that's when you can find your apartment. And if you are self-employed, you know, you can get a suite near your area that's not too far. I will say most drives here in Houston on average is about 30 minutes. 15 minutes is considered close. Like, to me, being from Alabama, you know, 15 minutes is far. We'd be like, dang, 15 minutes, like, you know, that's a little drive. But 15 minutes is like up the street. You know, 15 minutes is a 5-minute drive here. And granted, too, I'm not gonna lie, like, once you get on the highways, it don't even feel like a long drive. It's straight shots, basically, with the highways. Speaking of highways, I highly encourage you to visit. And when I say visit, be here for like 5 days minimum. And when you're here for 5 days, please don't try to go to all the little lounges, camp, like that get played out. Unless you just come in here solely to party. I'm not gonna lie, don't just come here and try to eat at all the restaurants, eat at all the lounges, because I'm not gonna, that's a good part of Houston. I ain't gonna lie, that's probably like the top 3 best parts of Houston is the food and the nightlife or whatever. Not really the nightlife to me, but really the food. But when you come here, act as if you are a resident, okay? Act as if you're a resident. Stay in a hotel that's not so in the mix, unless you purposely want to live in the mix, like downtown, midtown, the Galleria, unless you want to do that. But stay in a hotel or an area, hell, even an Airbnb, that is going to be realistic to not only your budget, but to where you're going to stay. Because obviously, the apartments in downtown, midtown, Galleria, they're going to be higher than other apartments on the outskirts. Unless you find a deal. Now, I can say you can find a deal because I'm an apartment locator, and I will say, if you don't know, now you know. If you looking for an apartment in the fall or winter, it's going to be significantly cheaper than if you're looking in the summertime, like July, August, September. During those times, most of the time what I've seen is going to be a wait list. It's going to be a wait list, or it's going to be high. And they're not going to give out any incentives. It's not going to be 1 month free, you know, half off rent. It's not going to be none of that. Which that's kind of dying down anyway, because there's so many people moving here and specifically looking for apartments. So, like, you know, property managers, they not really stunning y'all. Somebody's going to buy it. Or not buy it, rent it. But, so, yeah. So, when you come here, figure out your realistic price points and where you want to live at. And when you do that, scope out the area, you know. And also with the area, I will say Houston is it's so many people, y'all. It's literally, I think it's over 10 million. How can I put this? Always be watching, okay? Watch who around you. Make sure if anybody looking at you, you know, because Houston, you will get robbed. This is a dog-eat-dog city. So, like, the prey, you know, people, the locals here, I don't even want to just say the locals, but the locals do. They prey on people that's new to the city, you know, that's just moving here. And, you know, oh, Houston's so pretty, da-da-da-da. No, it is pretty, but it do get grimy. It's so many people here, so many crazy, so many serial killers, so many robbers, so many murderers. And I'm not saying this to scare y'all, but that's just the real truth. Like, I remember my friends came down here in December, and they're from Atlanta, and she kept saying, like, Houston is not a real place. And I'm not gonna lie, Houston is not a real place. The shit that you will see every day on a daily basis. It's just, I'm immune to it now, but it's just like you're normal. But you never know what's going on. Literally, you could be, this is anywhere. So, back to what I was saying. Yeah, so basically, just have eyes all around you. You know, don't be too friendly. Be friendly, but to the right people. I'm just saying. I know people here that have been bamboozled. They have been roofied from being too friendly, y'all. I'm just telling you, just stay on your toes. So if you wanna live in a kiki kaka friendly ass place, I would rethink Houston. Just saying. Um, but yeah, so once you know your area, know your budget, know where you're going to stay, and then from there, as far as networking is my top three favorite thing in Houston. I know I said earlier was the food. Networking is up there. I will tell anybody, if you have a business and if you a real true hustler and you know how to market yourself, Houston is the place. I'm not gonna lie, like Houston is the place for networking. And I guess another thing with that is because there's so many people. But when people go out, it's a networking event in a way because it's so, you never know who you're gonna be sitting next to. Like, this person can own a club, this person can own a franchise, this person may do hair, this person is a celebrity. Like, I don't know if y'all have ever seen that quote or that meme where it was like everybody in Houston is celebrity. That is very, very true. Like, people here carry themselves with a high standard, and you know, you have to carry yourself that way. People here is about their money. So networking is probably my favorite things. Like, the things that I've seen so far being here, I've never seen in my lifetime. I'm not gonna lie. From the big old houses to just, it's so much, y'all. Like, I can't even explain it, but it's huge. It's endless opportunities. Um, so if you coming down here, that just goes back to come with a plan. Please don't come out here with no plan, cause y'all, I've seen so many people. I've seen so many people come down here thinking, but I will say they go with coming with the right or wrong reasons. But they didn't came down here and they folded. They did not make it. Whether that was because they couldn't afford their rents. I know people think Texas is so cheap, so da 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 da. Well, the amount of people moving here is making it go higher. So in my opinion, it's really not that cheap. Certain things might be cheap, like alcohol at the liquor store, or you know, small things like that. We don't have a state income tax, but other than that, the cost of living is the same. It's obviously not the same as LA or New York or Chicago, but it's average to me, almost too much. But yeah, so let's see, we covered. Oh, I meant to tell y'all, I'm sorry if this is all over the place. Traffic, yeah, traffic terrible. And if you know better, you will not leave the house between 4 to 7. Okay, you will be stuck in traffic and you will encounter road rage, okay? This go back to like the crime talk. Houston got road rage, okay? You could literally cut somebody off and they will cut you, okay? They will get out the car and pull a gun out of you. So just always be mindful of your surroundings. It goes back to that because Houston is not a safe place. It's really not. It get grimy. So traffic is terrible. The drivers are crazy drivers. I hope I'm not a part of that category, but yeah, I do drive fast, but it's people out here that's driving like crash dummies, okay? I'm talking literal crash dummies. So be mindful of that. And, ooh, ooh, this is a con. This is a con right here, y'all. Be aware. If you're not from the South, be aware. But I'm from the South. But I ain't never encountered it like this, y'all. Be aware of water bugs. AKA, I call them roaches. Okay. Houston is infested with roaches. I don't know if y'all even seen on the news. Houston is like the #1 place for roaches. That is very, very true. You could stay in a luxury, beautiful, $3,000 a month apartment. You're going to encounter a roach, okay? It's not an if, it's a when, okay? You're going to see a roach. So, and when I tell y'all some of the best apartments, some of y'all favorites be having roaches. I literally had a client, because I'm an apartment locator. I had a client, and he found out that his apartment had a roach infestation. When I tell y'all, it was over like 45 roaches within 2 weeks. I kid you not. It was so bad. Roaches was crawling outside the door. And he made comments on their review on Google. And the apartment said, you can get out your lease, but what you have to do, you have to delete those comments and you have to sign this NDA. An NDA is a non-disclosure. Basically, he could not talk bad about the apartment. He couldn't tell anybody that they had roaches. So I'm going to tell it for him. But, yeah, y'all, Houston got roaches, so beware of that. And, let's see. Make sure I'm not forgetting anything. But my favorite things about Houston, overall, I love the networking. I love the endless possibilities to get some money. This is a get money city. Like the type of cars that you see, you're surrounded by motivation. Literally, you could be driving on 610 and see a Rolls Royce with swingers on it, or, you know, a Bentley Bentayga, you know, a Aston Martin, those type of cars. It's so much motivation, y'all. And then on top of that, it's so much to do, y'all. I literally feel like I've been to a lot of cities, and I must say Houston is the best city. It is the best city to me, hands down. Every time I go out of town and I come back in town, it's like, oh, a breath of fresh air. Granted, to go out, it still feel like a breath of fresh air, because you will get tired of the city. That's just with anywhere. But yes, the endless opportunities, the amazing food, the good vibes. Like, you will not find that any other place. The nightlife is cool. Don't get caught up in the nightlife, though. I will say a lot of people come down here with aspirations of being outside, being a bottle girl, being a club promoter, which is nothing wrong with it. I ain't talking shit about it. But you can get caught up in that lifestyle. You can get caught up in that lifestyle, which is a different type of life, if you know what I'm saying. So, just be prepared for that. Also, be prepared for weird things around you. Always have your guard up. Texas is a free to carry state. You don't need your license to have a gun. So, that could be a plus or a negative depending on your standpoint on it. But that's my little breakdown about being in Houston. I don't plan to go anywhere no time soon. I feel like I'm not done. Houston definitely, it gives you an opportunity to be who you want to be and create your own name. I would definitely say that. But if you coming down here to make some money and be a real hustler and be serious about your goals, Houston is the place for you. And if it's not, it's okay, but also do know, like, it come with a dark side too. Be prepared for all of those things. I'm trying to make sure that I'm not forgetting anything. I talked about the roaches, I talked about the crime, talked about the traffic. We got no state income tax. It's so much to do, y'all. That's just my rundown of being here for, what, 3 to 4 years. Oh, I got a little plus. So, I don't know if you know what your home grocery store is, whatever place you is, but, you know, there's no Publix in Houston. There's no Publix in Houston. The closest Publix is in Dallas. Houston has a HEB. So if you're not from here and you move down here, just remember I told you, go to HEB because that's going to be the main grocery store here. You know, there is a Kroger's, there is a this and that, but HEB runs the city. So that was something new to me when I first moved down here because I'm like, what the hell is a HEB? You know, where's Publix? I hope my battery did not die. But yeah, thanks for watching. Comment down below Houston. If you're thinking about moving to Houston, I will send you a good location list to stay. It'll have different locations based off of, you know, your liking or just good locations in general. But reach out if you have any questions. Thanks for watching. Bye.